you know, 5 years later, we've become really good friends, and we're on this incredible journey together. And so I wanted them to come on because they both have pretty incredible testimonies on why we do what we do in the health space. And this weekend, we just launched something pretty dang epic. Something that I became a beta tester about a month ago, and I wasn't aware of some of the issues that I was having, but I did know some of the issues that Brent here has had, and I wanted him to share it because it was pretty emotional, shocking, weird. Is this the placebo effect kind of thing? Experience that not just he had, but a lot of people have had. I have my own experience, but his was pretty emotional. I'm really good friends with their daughter, Brittany, and I know she's been really, really emotional about this. And so I just wanted them to come on and kind of share why we're really excited about this new product launch, why this company has really impacted our hearts and our health. And yeah, so hey guys.
Hey, Katrina.
Yeah.
Hey, so I would love for you guys kind of just to share who the heck you are and why we do what we do.
Perfect.
Perfect. You want to go first? Can you hear us all right, Katrina?
Can you hear us
Yeah.
good?
Okay.
We're good.
All right, perfect. So we're Brent and Janet Langham. We are local here
I'm
in
Brent. She's Janet.
Yeah. And we are local here in the Willamette Valley. We're actually out by Dorena Lake. And in my past life, I was bakery manager for Albertsons for 27 years. And then I went into the brokerage company, or a brokerage line of work. So I did that for a few years until I came down with cancer. And then I pretty much retired, took a year off for treatments and all that fun stuff, and then kind of retired after that. And now I have a friend that has a flower basket and gift boutique, and so I work a couple days a week for her, pretty much for clothes.
Yeah, she doesn't. I don't think she gets a paycheck.
No,
She
I don't
trades
get
it out.
paid.
Hey, I mean, I don't blame you, girl.
Yeah.
It works.
So
Works. Yeah. We actually met at Albertsons. So this
did.
scenario, Friday the 13th, I was working at Albertsons in Eugene, Oregon. Had my house and home there. She was from Salem, Oregon, and lived in Dallas. We were transferred to Corvallis, Oregon on the same Friday the 13th, her as the bakery manager, me as the meat manager. And that's when our lives kind of commingled. We didn't become...
You guys, that's cute.
Is that cute? We didn't become... We were friends for a long, long, long time, but we actually didn't become, well, in love, I guess.
Now you guys are inseparable.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, so I've been in the meat industry all my life. Well, when I got out of high school, I worked in a sawmill in the woods for a little bit, and my dad kept telling me it was right at the spotted owl thing, and he said, "There's no future in the woods, a dying trade. You need to do something else. Get out." Well, I didn't go to college or anything. I was a trade, so that's all I knew was to work, physical labor. So I went to the meat school and learned to cut meat, and I've been doing it 40 plus years or so now. Long time. Had my own business.
He's like legit meat cutter, just so y'all know. He's done some serious education for me on that whole process. So
Yeah, pretty much from...
You have to come watch, though,
pretty
Katrina.
much from feeding them, calving them, processing them. I have to use the proper words here so I don't offend somebody. And from everything, we cut and wrap it. We make pepperoni, ground beef, briskets, whatever we can process the whole animal. Then we went into retail, so we run retail markets, and we still have our own shop that we do it on the side still. A little more than we should, but when she was battling cancer, it was a blessing because we went pretty much back full time. I was working a full-time job and working my meat shop survive, because we were that normal American family that we live paycheck to paycheck, very comfortable. We thought we were, had the world by the tail. We both were making 6-figure incomes and big bonuses, and we were living life. But when she come down with cancer, I had to become all the hours in the house. I had to fill those hours that she was working, because we were 1 foot out of bankrupt, to keep losing our home and having to move our kids out of high school and to a different school. And so I opened my shop back up full time. And so when we were introduced to this, I didn't want nothing to do with it. Our daughter, Brittany, that's really close with Katrina now, she's thought it would be great for our health benefits, because I'm a diabetic and Janet's a cancer survivor, and she was 100% right. But I said, no, I don't do that stuff. No way, shape, or form. I ain't selling soap, and we've got enough candles in the closet. We don't need any more. I just wasn't interested. Not that I didn't think that it was, illegal or the old pyramid scam and all that. I knew they were legal and legit. There's scams and everything. A lot of the companies I worked for were the biggest scams I ever been involved in. But I just didn't think you could make enough money at it. I didn't see for the time investment. I needed to make money for the time that I was investing, because I was trading hours for dollars. So I didn't have time for it. I didn't want any more candles. But so when we seen this, I was too afraid what I was going to miss out on if I didn't try it. Literally, as a businessman, the amount of investment that it took to be involved in this was so petty, because you were going to have a business and have all the benefits of a real business without the overhead. It was stupid for me not to try.
Which know all about, Katrina.
Yeah.
So
it's not cheap.
And it was one of the best things we've ever done. It's changed our life, health-wise and financially. Janet now gets to work for her friend for clothes. So
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we can relate a lot in that space with traditional business and the cost of running those businesses, which I'm incredibly thankful for. I love what Russ and I do and have been a part of forever for me. But I too never thought I'd be in the home business space. I actually have a lot of guilt over it now, because I remember I could feel them coming towards me. We get asked to go to a party or something. I'd be like, I'll never do something like this. And then a friend was like, I think you need to take a look. And when I saw it, I was just like, wait, is this real? Can you really make this kind of money?
Blood sugar.
Oh, hey. Okay, well, speaking of sugar.
Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, so okay, so again, we just did this massive product launch. I was a part of another product launch, we both were, that really catapulted some steady income for us, and really shifted my attitude about home business. Holy cow, people really can make money here. Is it work? Yes, it's work. But we're in the start of a new launch right now that I think is just going to be tenfold. I don't know about you guys. Well, actually, I feel like we're on the same page. But Brent, your story is insane. And I'm so excited about this journey that's about to happen, not for you, but for people who are in your situation and who are in a pre-situation. Can you kind of share what we experienced this weekend?
Yeah, I would love to. It was massive, and me kind of being the doubting Thomas. When we rolled it out, I was extremely excited with the facts and all the studies, and everything is in black and white. I mean, you can't argue that the product is not what it is. But me, as being a type 1 diabetic, I just didn't know how it would really affect me. I felt like this can change people that have trouble with sugars, people that have that are pre-diabetic stages, where they're just having trouble with their glucose and their sugar levels, which is, they say 1 in 3 household. I think that's so far off. I think it's just so far off. probably 75% of my family is, got diabetes on both sides. And I've got, most of my cousins have got, type 1 and stuff. So blood sugar is a huge issue. And so I thought it was going to affect the world. I was extremely excited for what I was going to be able to help people with. I thought this is just, not besides the business part of it, which I'm stoked about it, because ground floor with what we have is, it's just phenomenal. This is just bigger than what we went through before that rocketed our business to where it was then. But to be able to, besides all that, to be able to help people, to be able to actually have a solutions for people that can not cure anything or not, this is a plant-based real, it's not going to hurt anything. They can continue their lifestyle the way they are and take it alongside what they're doing and improve their situation. What out there is like that? And for me, I'm type 1 diabetic. So that means I'm totally 100% insulin dependent over 40 years. I think I was diagnosed in 1990.
34 years.
34. Yeah, I was in the meat trade for so 34 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was in the middle of my business, going through a divorce. I was working 6-7 days a week, and I was just wore out, tired. I was working 14, 16 hours a day to get my new business going. I was like in the second year of it, and I was wore out. And the doctor told me, he goes, "Brent, you're pre-diabetic." And he said, at this point in time, you can change what you're doing. You can alter this and turn back. And I think there's hundreds of thousands of people in that situation. My solution was I had to get lots of rest. I had to eat properly and eliminate all the stress in my life. So my alternative was to shut my shop down, go back to cutting meat, and eat properly, because I was grabbing a burrito at 7-Eleven on the way out of town, and grabbing a donut when I went through Elkton, and that's what I did. And I worked till 11 o'clock at night in my shop, so I didn't eat properly, and my stress was huge. So I became diabetic, and then I started having issues with my blood sugars and back and forth, and then they started me on medication, and I just have progressively over the years. Now I'm type 1. I have to have an insulin drip constantly, because my body doesn't produce insulin. And when I eat, I have to give myself a shot. I'm on a pump now, but I literally at one point in time was giving myself 8 to 10 shots a day. Anytime I ate, and I was just up and down constantly. When I started on this stuff, I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go, see what it does with this old guy. And I noticed the very first lunch I had, normally with the lunch and stuff, even with me giving me insulin, when I dump insulin on for the carbs and the sugars that I'm going to eat to keep my glucose levels normal, I will spike pretty high. And I'm on the most fast-acting insulin there is. They tell you don't take it 15 minutes before you eat. Take it when you eat, because it's going to get into your system. I spike high. I go into like the 300s, high 200s, 300s, a lot of times for lunch. If I eat a hamburger and French fries and a cold beer, I'm going to be in the 300s, even with taking the insulin. It will pull me back, but it just takes a long time to pull me back. And those high numbers is not good for health. That's what they don't want. They want you to run flat. The very first time I took it, I just took it before meal, and the day before that, I went to 311 when we had lunch, and I had nothing but the sugar that was in the brisket plate. I had no carbs, no bread.
Barbecue sauce.
So it was just a barbecue sauce that apparently had a lot of sugar in it. And I went to 311. And it took me close to 4 hours to get back into the safe zone for me. And it came back. The next day was when we had got the product. When they handed us this, I decided I'm going to go ahead and try it. We were busy, how it was that weekend. I didn't get on a regimen or anything, but I thought we just had purchased some, and I thought, oh, pull one of them out. Let's try one for lunch. Janet goes, right now? Let's try it. So we took it for lunch, and I went to 198 with that lunch, and I actually had some ravioli. I had more carbs that lunch, and then I went to 198. I thought, well, that's definitely a difference, but quinkening. The next day, so we started on it the next day. I mean, my levels were, better. Yesterday all day long. In the last 24 hours, on the phone, it showed me last night when we went to bed, in the last 24 hours, I was 98% of the time in my safe zone. 98%. I can't.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Today I got up, and this morning I was 129 when I got up, and so my pump actually gives me, it's a smart pump, so it gives me, besides a drip ever so often, I get every 15 minutes, it'll give me a little dose of insulin. If I turn that off and I don't eat or I don't take insulin, I will constantly steadily get up to 500-600. I just get higher and higher and higher. I have to have insulin on board. And so my sensor, my G6 run out. And so I decided, well, I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna freebase it here. And so, which means my pump does not calculate. If it detects that I'm rising a little bit, say I have a snack and I eat a couple peanuts or a cracker, and my blood sugar starts to rise a little bit, my pump will give me a little bit of insulin to try to keep it there. So I completely disconnected all that. All it was is I was getting the steady drip. So that means I didn't have anything on board for eating. So I got up this morning, I had a granola bar, and I had a handful of peanuts, and I checked my blood, and I was 129. I thought, well, that's pretty good. I ate with the granola bar, I ate one of the Transform. And then lunch, I pulled out all the stops, went to the Costco soup. Tortilla soup. It's delicious. You got to try it. But carbs, it's loaded with, it's got a lot of carbs in it. It's got beans. I don't know what else on it, but it's good. And so I threw in some cheese and some sour cream and calculated the carbs in it. And I took this once before, and I was pushing 400 before I peaked and come back down with my insulin on board. Today I hit, and I just took one with lunch. Today I hit 184. And within a 2-hour period, I was back to 103.
That's nuts.
It's crazy nuts.
It's crazy.
And you're just taking one capsule?
I'm just taking one.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to bump it. But I've tested. I'm back on the machine again now. But what's this going to do long term? And the crazy part about it, if somebody's just having or don't even know they're having issues with their, glucose, which a lot of people don't. I didn't know until I started, when they tested me, finally I let them test me, I was close to 400. And how long had I been that way? I didn't know. But there's a lot of people that are testing this now on the machine that are realizing that they are, that are just tired, don't have any energy. So you're not pulling that sugar to feed your muscles. I mean, if you're not processing properly, you're not feeding your muscle. You're not giving yourself energy. It's just staying in your bloodstream, and you're going through your kidneys. And I say the only thing that it benefits is mosquitoes love my blood. But
I mean, that's what I recognize. So I was part of this beta testing group, and we were doing dummy tests on this product, and this product's been like, the formulation's been it's all being done at Harvard Medical School right now. We're so fortunate to have partnered with the actual formulator to be the nutraceutical company that brings this to market, which is really rad in itself. But we all purchased monitors, and we were testing our own glucose levels, and it, surprised me. Like, I was definitely in the pre-diabetic state. This is just, again, my story. And it was eye-opening. I'm 41. It definitely was a rude awakening to kind of get some things in check that I knew I needed to, but life, I put things off. And that was the biggest thing. Like, I felt clearer. Like, I definitely don't feel as brain fog. Like, I'll blame it on being a mom or just running two businesses or just, I don't know. I always joke that people probably think my life is crazy because I'm going from one place to another. But I felt clearer, and I didn't know if it was like the placebo thing. But what really woke me up is like I could see the numbers. Like it was crazy. Like it was like right in front of me. I would eat a meal. I did like a dummy test to where it was just I ate the same thing for one day, and then the next thing I ate the same thing I ate that day, but then I took the supplement, and I was able to compare my levels, and it was right in front of me. It was like, holy cow. And it just clicked. Like you can't like that. I could see it. I could see what was happening in my body with this monitor. Yeah. And I remember being like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk to Brent because, and when I ran into you guys in Vegas, I was like, I'm so excited. And you were like, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty cool.
I was. It's terrible that I'm that way, but it's just living proof that for one, how do you argue with Harvard, and two, when you see it happening, but I'm going to shout this from the top of the roof. There's nobody I'm not going to share this with. Because whether they do it or not, that's their choice.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be the one that's not going to share it. I'm not going to have them an opportunity to change their life because I don't know why. I had somebody tell me today, well, I don't know if I can afford it.
How can you not?
Don't eat out one time a month. Cut it back. And you got enough to change your life. And a lot of these people are spending $600-700, and they don't want to try a plant-based, natural, preventative for a lot of stuff. Plus,
crazy.
But that's here's that's not for me to decide. That's everybody has their own choices there, but I'm not going to not share it with everybody. Right. I mean, literally,
we're not trying to say we're curing anything or treating anything. I mean, it's just pretty awesome to see.
I'm still diabetic, and I'm going to be diabetic, but how much more years am I going to have with these flat numbers? If I'd have had this 15 years ago, if somebody tries this, gets on this, that was where I was, 20 years ago, they probably will never end up where I'm at. I would have loved to have this shot at this, something other than just slow down.
Well, it was cool. Like after Brent had his lunch, like we were talking at our event, and he's showing me on his phone his numbers, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is, again, like you can see it. And so I was telling about my friend Beth, like she's like, I gotta video this. So she's like video recording his phone and his numbers because her husband deals with the thing. And so she's sending it to her husband. And then I'm like, send it to me because I'm gonna send it to Brittany. And so Brittany, I sent it to her, and then I talked to her, and she's like crying. I want to cry. Like, I just want everyone to be in a group hug and we all cry it out.
Yeah.
It's just really awesome. I'm so excited. There's a lot of excitement, and some people are like, oh my, they poo-poo our excitement. And I just want to be like, whatever, you need more joy in life.
Yeah.
I know. Like launching the CBD was huge. But I feel like this is so much bigger. So much bigger. Now, thank you, Jesus, for the CBD because I've needed it the last few days.
You are not wrong, girl.
With my phone blowing up.
Yeah,
But I think this is going to be so much bigger. So much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
When you talk about your endocannabinoid system that the CBD links it, then you throw in something that's going to naturally help you to break your sugars down to fibers.
Your carbs and your sugars into fibers.
Flood your system with energy.
Yeah. And so can you explain really quick what it does? Like we've talked about this miracle, but what is it doing?
The Transform?
Yeah.
It's literally, this is just an enzyme. It's a natural plant-based enzyme, a natural, real enzyme that is breaking down carbs and sugars to fiber. I mean, it's never been done before.
Yeah.
It's never been discovered. I mean, the money that's been in Heinz and Kraft has funded the money for this research to develop this, and we're the first capsule to hit the market. I mean, there's going to be some lookalikes and copies out there, but this is the one of a kind. I mean, how it didn't get discovered, years before. I have my opinion, but I'll keep that to myself. But there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money that people spend to control their blood sugars.
And we're, just to be clear, we're not partnered with Heinz or Kraft.
No.
Company's not partnered with them. We're not
put the
partnered with
money
them.
up or
No.
the studies for it.
Hooked the money up, and we just knew the guy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so
it's
awesome.
just
I'm excited about people like that have a tough time with weight loss.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, it's going to be
I'm looking
exciting.
forward to how that can support.
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
I got a text today from a girl that started it today. Let me find it. And she said, I had so much more energy today after eating. I even ate spaghetti for lunch, which usually makes me feel sluggish and tired. And then I crave sugar so bad. I had none of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's really exciting.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so check this out. If you want more information, definitely drop info below. Janet, Brent, they're such incredible people. I'm so thankful that we've partnered together, that we get to do this together and be each other's support and cheerleaders. And so if you guys want more information, we definitely are in mode to share with as many people because we're jacked out of our minds. So
Absolutely.
anyway, I love you guys all. Have a great rest of your evening, and we will catch you later. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Katrina, for having us on. We love you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Bye.